crisis, not a day really can go by when we don't hear some economic observer make a comparison to the Great Depression. And while it's true, this sharp pullback caused by shutting down our entire economy, never done before, has resulted in numbers not seen since those days. I think a better comparison personally could be maybe the Depression of 1920, 1921. It was caused by a combination of factors. We had a swollen labor force after the war, tight monetary policy, union strikes, deflationary expectations. There was prohibition and, of course, the Spanish flu. Now, the consequences were ugly. Yes, they hurt, but the whole thing was short-lived. And many people say why, and the answer, some say, is because the government did nothing. That's right. There were no bailouts, no stimulus, no New Deal. The result, the Roaring '20s. So the question now, is it possible for our economy to get back on track and have another Roaring '20s? Joining me now, University of Maryland economist Peter Marisi. Peter, thanks for joining us. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the recession of the early 20s also had a lot to do with the deindustrialization after World War I. And that's when we experienced as large a drop in industrial production as we did this past month. That's where the old record was. The key thing there, though, was the government wasn't creating policies or implementing policies that got in the way of progress. They weren't paying people not to work. Now, I'm not suggesting we don't provide assistance to the businesses, but we should be paying them, for example, to create jobs, not pay people to stay home. So my feeling is with the right kind of policies, it was also a period of a lot of innovation. Radio was coming in and so forth, and we have that today with 5G and all that. I think if the government just got out of the way, we could do quite a bit.
You know, Peter, it's also interesting, of course, the Fed was tightening monetary policy, and of course now they've gone the exact opposite way. Some think perhaps too far, but we also had a real pro-president out there, right, between Harding and Coolidge, that they talked about business a lot. And I believe that there's something to that using a bully pulpit to encourage the American public to pull up their own bootstraps.
Well, Harding's campaign slogan was a return to normalcy. He made clear to the American people they had a choice between bigger government after the war or going back to the kinds of policies that really industrialized America between the Civil War and World War I and created this global superpower that was emerging. So, that was a very important characteristic. The other thing was that Silent Cal, when he took over, inspired a great deal of confidence in people. I mean, people just felt very comfortable with him. That's something that's missing now. Now, I'm not saying Mr. Trump needs to be replaced because the other side doesn't inspire confidence. It more has to do with the divisiveness in Washington. Washington in those days believed in American capitalism. They believed in free markets. Now, about 2/3 of the town does, and 1/3 of the town is saying that everything's broken, everything is wrong, the system's a failure, we have to throw it out and surrender to France. If there's something that is destructive to the American economy, it's the left half of the Democratic Party in Congress. I'm sorry to be so political, but that's the God-honest truth.
Peter Marisi. I like you. You let the hair grow out there. I like that. We'll see you again real soon.
Well, you're missing what's really different.
All right, folks. Well, tell me next time. Hey, the market's right now